episode 31, I think. No, 32? 32. Did you just say, how are you doing?
Howdy doody? What?
Howdy doody. It's episode 32.
That'll work. That's a good
works
one.
for me. Fine. So, obviously, our show intros now officially suck. So, since we're just going to jump into it, I would assume, Mark, welcome.
Thank you.
And the show energy level is terrible today. I'm going to blame Mark. And do you have news for us today so we can get off to a good start?
I do, but you didn't welcome Ed and Jim.
Oh, that's right. So
welcome, Ed.
Welcome, Ed, or welcome, Jim, Bob, Mark.
Hey, Pete.
What's up, Bob?
Maybe we ought to start this show over again.
Oh, that's awesome. I think we should leave it.
Now, there are stories in the news, and one of them reminded me of Ed. Judge jails man for lugging beer to DWI hearing.
Wait. Say that again? I didn't.
Judge jails man for lugging beer to DWI hearing.
I could see that.
Monticello, New York. Authorities say a New York man appearing before a judge on a felony drunk driving charge arrived at court an hour and a half late, drunk and carrying an open can of Busch beer. Busch! Sullivan County Undersheriff Eric Chaboti says Keith Gruber of Swan Lake had 4 unopened cans of beer in his bag Monday when he tried to walk through the metal detector at the county courthouse. The Middletown Times-Herald Record reports that Judge Frank Labuda, man, there are too many names in this article, asked the 49-year-old Gruber if he enjoyed his liquid lunch. He said he did, and then he said he was sorry. The judge revoked his bail, sent him to jail, where he remained Tuesday. He was arrested December 27th in the town of Liberty and was out on $30,000 cash bail. He has prior DWI convictions.
Ah, that would make sense.
Boy, amazing. Guy goes to court drunk with a beer in his hand.
Wouldn't be the first time.
Did Ed remind you of the judge or of the guy appearing in the court?
I could picture Ed going into court with a can of beer in his hand.
I've never done that before in my life.
I just said I could picture you doing that.
Well, I could now, yeah. Contempt of the court, but
woman drives off in police car in Florida. How many times have we covered ones like this? They seem to do it quite a bit. A Florida woman who was handcuffed by police and placed in the backseat of a patrol car managed to drive off in the cruiser, crashing up blocks away. Officers responded to a weekend call of a possible sexual assault, but the woman who complained appeared to be suffering from mental illness. Authorities say police were still investigating Sunday afternoon when the handcuffed woman screeched through the window to the front seat and drove off, crashing the car. God, now, Ed, that sounds like you. Going to a sexual assault call, and then you arrest the victim for something to get out of paper.
She stole my car to boot.
The worst part is that now she'll sue because you had her handcuffed and she couldn't drive.
Right. Impaired her driving.
Massage parlor inspector demands rub down. A California man is charged with demanding a rub down and $200 while pretending to be a massage parlor inspector. Orange County prosecutors charge Ed Skullcraft. His name is Edward, though. They charge Edward Lapointe with felony burglary and misdemeanor counts of impersonating a police officer and firearms violations. He's a former police officer from Illinois. He was wearing a badge when he entered the Golden Spa massage parlor in Lake Forest on January 31st, told the manager he was investigating a complaint. He then complained of back pain, and a masseuse gave him a back rub before he laid on the bed naked and asked for a frontal massage, which was refused. So I guess he ended up getting arrested for that.
No happy ending there.
Yeah. Here's I got 2 more here. April Fool's prank cost teenager $150 in tickets. A 16-year-old Central Illinois girl has been given $150 in tickets after the worried victims of her April Fool's Day prank called police. Bloomington police say the girl texted her friend and cousin, said she had been robbed and shot in the foot. The pair called the police, who rushed to the home where they found her safe. She had not been robbed or shot. They gave her a ticket for disorderly conduct and a $50 truancy ticket. But here's something. I mean, I don't know if people realize that, but if somebody calls the police with a false crime, they could be held criminally responsible with a false report of an emergency or filing a false police report. You could actually get arrested for that. So I think she got off pretty easy with $150 in tickets. Here's one that's kind of serious, but we got to ask for our, especially our Southern California listeners' help in this one. I know you guys hear about that Giants fan that was attacked at the Dodger Stadium.
Oh, that's terrible. That EMT or whatever it was.
Yeah, he's a paramedic and from the Bay Area, and he went with some friends to a Giants game in Los Angeles. And after the game, they're walking out to their car, and they got heckled by a couple of guys in Dodgers attire, and they ignored him. And these two guys in the Dodgers attire ran up and hit the guy in the back of the head. He went down to the pavement, cracked his head open on the pavement, and then they sit there and stomped him, kicked him, and beat him up to the point now he's in a coma. They may have to release some pressure out of his brain, take the frontal lobe of his skull off to release pressure. So he's in a coma. I mean, it's pretty sad when you can't go support your baseball team and wear a jersey or something without being attacked by some idiots or gangbangers. So we need help. Anybody in Southern California that listens to us, and if you know of somebody that knows of somebody, or if there's a cell phone video or something out there, anonymously send it to the police. People like this have to be caught. That was just totally uncalled for, unacceptable, and it's not a matter of snitching. It's a matter of doing, following your moral compass and doing what's right. If you know anything about who did this, they need to be held responsible. What do you guys think?
God forbid a cell phone video be used for something good.
Yeah, no kidding.
All we ever see is bad.
Besides Burger King fights and clerks getting hit with burgers and jumping over counters and all that kind of stuff.
There's nothing better than a good Burger King fight.
Yeah.
Hey, Ed, you and me talked about this one. Obituary burglaries are in some communities where, I mean, the crooks, I guess they always come up with something new. They're looking in the paper for obituaries, and I mean, what better place can you go to a house to burgle, because nobody's going to be there on the day of the funeral. And
at least you hope not, anyway.
Yeah, so these people are going there and they're burglarizing the house while everyone's away at the funeral. So not only are these people losing a loved one that day, they go home and find out their house is all ransacked and whatnot.
Yeah, that's been going on for quite a while. I guess it's getting more popular now, though, isn't it?
Yeah.
That or you read about a family wiped out in a car and you look up their address and then go clean their house out. Car accident type thing.
You guys see that new app for, is Jim still with us?
I think he's asleep.
I know Jim said he didn't want to do the show tonight, but I mean, he's taking her literally, didn't he?
He's just sitting here listening to you speak.
I was just wondering if they really still make Bush beer.
I thought Bush made beans.
I thought Bush was the last president.
Let's not beat around the bush, guys.
Oh, God. Of course, that.
You guys seen those cars now? They got apps for phones now for unlocking and starting your car.
Yep.
What do you think's
going
to happen? Oh, yeah. In fact, they got the commercial out where it shows this guy calling his girlfriend or somebody and says, do it one more time. And with her phone, she unlocks and starts the car. So what do you think is going to happen when criminals find a way to tap into this and just start, unlocking and stealing cars left and right?
If we're talking about it, they're already doing it. I can tell you that right now.
We can already lock them and stop the car. So that's able to be done by law enforcement right now with OnStar.
Right, but now this is an app where you can get anybody on their phone to.
Well, you have to subscribe to the service there, buddy.
I know, but I'm saying criminals, if they find a way to tap into this.
Yeah, but I can't go to the iTunes store and grab an app that says unlock Mark's car.
Well, I kind of figured that, Brent. I know it's not that easy.
I just check a box and it says Mark.
Yeah, whose car would you like to steal today?
Yeah, that'd be awesome. I can talk to my car, so why not?
I've got that app on my Droid.
Do you?
Yeah.
What's it called?
Steal a car.
That's
Droid.
Okay, that was the worst. Would you like to steal the car that's pulling up next to you? Yes. Brakes. Accelerator. That'd be awesome. It's coming. They've already talked about it. Supposedly people have already made it happen, but I don't know. Car manufacturers are going to definitely have to do something about that. They're going to have to lock that down.
It's funny how they do it now. You simply approach the driver's door of another car with a loaded friggin' 9 in your hand, make the person get out, and then the car is yours.
So you don't need an app to carjack, is what you're saying?
Not in that application.
Yeah. It probably walks you through it. Step to car window. Okay, cool. Point gun.
There's a
at
checklist. There's a checklist you can follow.
Yeah. Excuse me, I'm following the checklist. Could you wait a second?
Yeah, if something goes wrong, run.
Tell cops you knew nothing. All right.
Hey,
so
I've
anything?
got news.
Oh my God, what?
My little brother just turned 53 friggin' years old, and in 2 more years he'll be able to friggin' get half off at Denny's. So happy birthday, Mark.
Well, that's great considering Jim already gets that discount at Denny's now. My older brother.
Do you get those letters in the mail all the time?
AARP?
That's the one.
Yeah, those turncoats. I toss it to the garbage every time.
Are they affiliated with the Iron Warriors or?
Oh, what is with that?
Ed just sent him a picture of him holding his grenade launcher, and his mail stopped.
to the AARP?
Didn't look like a grenade launcher to me.
Oh my God. Ah, that's a great show. Great show topic. How to get junk mail to stop by Ed.
Ask a cop about a police job.
Oh my God. Some
Hey,
of
do you
these
guys
questions-
follow Supercross? Brent, you do, don't you?
No.
What is up with James Stewart?
I don't follow it.
Oh, I just heard
Like
that story. Is that true? I didn't hear the details of it.
It's really true. He friggin'
He pulled an Ed. He got that
25
apple.
years old. He's in his friggin' Toyota Tundra sponsored truck that they give him, and he's with some other clown, and he activates these blue lights on his dash and pull over a car somewhere down, I think in Florida.
You sure wasn't
The only
the app that
problem
Ed
was-
had on his phone?
The only problem was the car he pulled over was full of 2 off-duty cops and an off-duty deputy sheriff.
Whoops.
Yeah. So they ended up hooking him, and he got hooked for impersonating a peace officer. And then the dude that was with him got hooked for tampering with evidence because he tried to stash the lights in his luggage. Unbelievable.
There is some weird rule in Florida about volunteers, I think. I don't know, because there was a show, I can't remember which, one of those, fix your ride type car shows on TV.
Pimp your ride?
Yeah, but it wasn't that one. It was a different one. But one of the famous basketball players that was on the show had blue lights all over his car, like red and blue lights. And he was like saying that he was some kind of reserve officer down in Florida. And I'm like, wait a second, that doesn't sound right. So I don't know. We'd have to look into that. I've been curious about that for a long time. This one sounded like he was just being a dumbass.
Yeah, especially when you're a motocross star making big bucks with factory sponsors, to be in the headlines for something like that's not a good thing.
I believe we call that, when people think that they are untouchable in situations like that.
Well, Ed's got that app on his phone, and we talked about that the last show. Ed was playing the little siren for us and everything else, the little red and blue lights that flash.
Yeah, just deleted it the other day.
Oh, why'd you delete it? You get busted?
No, I just had a whole bunch of crap to take off my phone. I had way too much junk in there.
Yeah, the lights were making his porn run too slow.
I hate it when that happens. I had to clean my phone out. Yeah, sure you did.
So I'm looking up how to steal a car now on my apps. I haven't found it yet.
Oh, man, because that would be awesome. We should make that app. We could put an app of how to do all sorts of criminal stuff. Just follow this checklist.
We probably have a bigger following if we told people how to commit crime instead of how to prevent crime.
Well, we sure have enough
We could
email.
write another book.
people.
Instead of cop talk, it'd be crook talk.
Crook talk.
Kind of
Well,
What you don't know will help you.
Told by cops. We're all learn from others' mistakes and getting arrested.
Oh.
All right, let's see here. So you out of news there, buddy?
I'm out of news.
All right, so we want to do some questions, I assume. Oh, FYI to our Australian listeners, that I did just send out that book, so they should be getting it sometime eventually.
It bankrupted us to send it to you, but thanks for your support.
Yeah, I think it was like $3,000 Australian money, which is like $1 million US. So it was
Awesome.
terrible, but it's on its way. No, it wasn't that bad, but hopefully they'll read it and get back to us with how wonderful it is.
Yes.
Sweet.
Okay, so we have, let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 or so questions this week. All from, I'll post these on the website later or throughout the next couple weeks. Okay, so first one, kidnapping. What should you do if someone at gunpoint wants you to get in their car? It's kind of like dating. First, I'd like to say that I really do like your show and do appreciate all that you do to keep us safe. Sometimes it's hard to follow you. I couldn't imagine why. We apologize for that.
No, mine says sometimes it's hard to follow Jim.
No, it says you, and I believe that means Mark, but that's okay. So let's not get off topic. So because amidst all the joking, things get a little lost in the process. Yeah, I could understand that. Maybe we'll try to recap some of these questions a little better at the end. I assume this is how you handle stress because I cannot even imagine what it'd be like to be a cop, especially since so many people look down on cops, which I consider unfortunate. Hey, so do we. I guess that is why I always tell cops when I see them just how much they're appreciated. Well, we appreciate that. And then he had another question in here about knife length and what you can carry. We'll get into that after. So let's talk about. I'm going to take
with your fast little fingers, bring it up.
What, the size of a knife?
Yeah.
Yep.
In California?
Legal.
You could bring in all the 653K, all the stuff, the size of the knife, the dagger, what's considered dagger, the flip knife. So you could bring it up.
I'm thinking of California code.
So
Brent's talking.
Me talking? I don't want to talk. I want you to talk about getting kidnapped at gunpoint.
Well, that is such a broad spectrum. There's really no right or wrong answer. I mean, if someone's pointing a gun at you, it's your decision what you're going to do. I mean, if it's really a tough call. If you have any opportunity to get away, you could try that. We can't tell people what to do in that situation because if we tell them run and they get shot in the back, then, all of a sudden we're going to say, well, that didn't work.
Well, right. But
if you get in a car, then you're going to be held hostage. I mean, there's just so many variables, the size.
So what would be the safest thing to get the hell away from the person that's trying to steal your car, right? As in to try to work a way out of not going with them?
Yeah, this says wants you to get in their car, not like a carjacking where they're telling you to get out. If they're telling you to get out, hey, get out and run and whatever, But this here looks more like a kidnapping question where someone has a gun and they're telling you to get in the car. But because there's so many variables. Is the guy sitting in his car pointing a gun at you? Is he standing outside and has a gun right into your back? There's so many variables here that it's really almost dangerous to try to tell people what they should or shouldn't do.
Well, and we can't answer that based on us being cops either.
Right.
Because I think we'd probably do something stupid.
Now, if let's say I'm just Joe citizen and someone points a gun at me, I don't have training as a cop or anything. If there was a way for me to get away, I would probably take that option first because I wouldn't want to be in a car because then you're more confined. And who knows, especially if it's a young lady they're putting in a car, who knows what they're going to do to her. But me, being a guy, I'd probably see if there's a way to try to get away from the guy, disable him or something. Then again, if I'm a 100-pound, young lady, you're not going to be able to disable a guy with a gun.
Unless you know, like triple black belt.
Right. I mean, the last thing you want to do is get shot. But, a girl gets into a car with a guy with a gun, who knows what his intentions are, and that's another bad
That's probably where
thing
you're going to see that scenario happen more often than not. I mean, it'd be pretty rare that a guy would pull a gun on to kidnap a guy, but they definitely, sexual predators, they'd definitely be out there, a woman walking to her car late at night from work alone or jogging on a trail. I mean, that's probably, you read about that happening all the time. But that's something that women can avoid by, always, like we tell them all the time, if you're going to go jogging through the park trails, go with 3 or 4 of your friends and stay in a group. Don't just go running out by yourself. Don't put yourself in that position. A lot of businesses offer security or even just a fellow employee, walking you to your car to make sure you get there okay at night. Even at our station, we've got a couple female employees, and when it's dark and late out, even though it's in front of the sheriff's station, we walk them out and make sure they get on their way. But that's probably where that scenario is going to be more predominant rather than, unless it was a hostage situation or someone was trying to get away from the cops, and wanted to use you as a hostage. I just haven't heard that often about guys being approached at gunpoint to be, kidnapped.
And the location is going to make a difference too. If it's a really isolated area, there's not a lot that you could do for your safety. But if it's like a crowded area, shopping center, people could scream at the top of their lungs and run away. And the last thing that person's going to want is attention. They're probably just going to try to get out of there. So the location is big. If there's a way to scream and run to get away, that's an option. But
which
once
is something
again,
Mark
we can't.
would do. Mark would scream and run.
Yeah, Jim
I'd
would
laugh at the person. I'd laugh and say, "Are you a friend of my ex-wife?" But Mark would scream and run.
Yeah. Jim would say, "You don't need that gun. I'll get in the car with you." Because Jim likes guys. What about you, Ed? What's your take?
Wrong.
I'd say move to Arizona, carry a gun in your pocket like I do, and they pull a gun out, just start shooting at them.
That's true. If this can't be in Arizona, because the guy would pull a gun and say, "Get in the car," and the lady would pull out the gun and pump like 12 rounds into him and say, "Not this time."
And he'd have like a 38, and she'd have like a Desert Eagle.
Yeah, exactly. Well, I think you had the same training I did, Mark, way back when we had that crazy Marine on our squad who used to teach us how to take Berettas apart in the flip of your hand.
Right.
You could point a Beretta 92 at somebody, he would be able to grab it before you could pull the trigger and take the whole entire top end of it off.
Yep.
Dude, they practice that in prison.
Well, that's where he learned it.
No. That's why Jim got rid of his Beretta.
No, he didn't learn it in prison, but that's apparently where law enforcement learned it was going on. But if you're that close to somebody inside of a 2 or 3 foot radius and they have a gun pointed at you, there's a lot of different things you can do, and I don't suggest the public do it, but there is training out there to show you what your options are without getting in the car and losing your life with your hands up, submitting to a person.
You know what, Ed? That's a good point because, in defensive tactics, they teach us all those moves, for close encounters like that.
Right.
There's a lot of self-defense classes that people can actually take that would, introduce them to those type of techniques. But, it's a 50-50 call.
More often, I'm not telling anybody to play with guns, but more often than not, if you had somebody standing next to 3 feet, and they had a gun pointed at you and it was not cocked in single action, and if it wasn't a revolver cocked down, you could almost slap the gun out of their hand before their brain tells their finger to pull the trigger.
Yep.
But I'm not saying that's anybody in the public could do, but that's stuff that they taught us before in the academy and also training as we went along as officers.
Yeah, you got to train and train and train to be able to do those types of things correctly.
And there's a certain amount of distance between you and the person with the gun that you have to. There's a certain point, there's a cutoff where you're not going to make it. So it's something you have to learn. You just can't do it. But there is options to just giving up. But you have to go out there and seek out those classes and take the classes.
And practice.
Right.
On Ed.
And of course, it's not like you're going to get hijacked every single day. So, if you're living in a bad neighborhood, it's a potential for that. But your average Joe is never going to have that problem occur.
I don't know why I just had that vision of Mark friggin' panicking and not knowing what to do and raising his T-shirt up.
I don't know why you seem to like to look at guys without shirts and stuff on, Jim, but I don't know. Maybe that explains why you're still single.
No, oh, God.
Wow.
It always,
harsh.
Yeah, that was kind of mean. You shouldn't pick on him like that.
Hey, he started it. Hey, the second half of the question about the knife.
Yes.
Okay,
my other question is, what is the legal length of a knife that one can have in their pocket?
Well, 653K covers switchblades, which is the knife that would pop out automatically by button, or any type of knife you can. I've seen those. What's that other real popular brand used to be on everybody's belt buckle?
Spyderco.
No,
the gravity knives and
buck knives. I've seen buck knives where you can take them out and flick them, and they open up real quick. So this covers anything that if it takes less than 2 hands to open, it's illegal, and the blade being longer than 2 inches.
Whoa, excuse me, what? If it takes less than 1 hand to be opened, it's illegal?
Well, the way it's describing in here is any knife you can flick with gravity or anything like that.
Like a gravity knife.
A knife or a knife that you've machined enough that
somebody's flicking a knife now.
Not me.
Says, you can hear it in his voice.
I'll read you half of the paragraph. For the purposes of this section, switchblade knife means a knife having the appearance of a pocket knife and includes a spring blade knife, snap blade knife, gravity knife, or other similar type knife, the blade or blades of which are 2 or more inches in length, and which can be released automatically by a flick of a button, pressure on the handle, flip of the wrist, or other mechanical device, or is released by the weight of the blade or by any type of mechanism whatsoever. So they've got everything completely covered, and the length of the blade itself is 2 inches. So I guess with a 1-inch blade you're okay, but a 2-inch blade you're in violation of the law.
And those are for like the gravity knives and switchblade. The switchblade's illegal anyway, but buck knives are okay as long as.
1-inch blade. Do you know how short a 1-inch blade knife is?
Daggers are illegal.
That's shorter than a carpet knife.
I mean, I have a tiny little knife in front of me, and it's got a 3-inch blade, and it is teeny tiny little pocket knife.
No, they're legal. Folding knives are legal as long as it's not like a switchblade, spring-loaded, or gravity, where you could basically open it with one hand.
I can open this with one hand.
You're illegal.
You sure?
Somebody call the police and have them head over to Brent's house.
They always come over there.
This is kind of misleading also because this pertains to passengers or drivers in a motor vehicle. Now, I'm going to go to 12020 and start taking a look at that for you here in a minute, but that'll cover in your pocket, on your person, etc.
But just to remember that this is all California only.
Right.
Basically, the switchblade. You know the switchblades where you push the button and it's spring-loaded and it flips open. Those are totally illegal. You know, if you've got an old worn
butterfly knife too.
Oh yeah, butterfly knife.
That's a gravity knife.
But your regular folding pocket knife, if it's like worn and you could actually flip it real hard and open it up to a locked position, that's really not going to be counted like that. They're more concerned with the gravity knives and the spring-loaded ones.
But if I have like I've seen some pretty big folding knives, like a foot-long folder. Is that illegal?
No, the daggers are what's illegal. The fixed blade knives, what's considered a dagger, those are illegal. People, if you've got a folding knife in a sheath on your belt, basically you're okay.
How about a straight blade knife?
No, those are considered daggers. Ed could look that one up.
I'm going to, but just real quickly, everything I just read to you came out of the section that reads every person who possesses in a passenger's or driver's area of a motor vehicle. So that pertains only to motor vehicles. I'm going to go over to the weapons section here in a minute and take a look at that and see what I come up with. Anyway, onward.
I don't know what you guys are talking about. All my knives are legal. All right, so this is the best question in here. Okay.
Hey, where'd that question come from?
Oh, I did not write
names. Is it
names,
California? Because laws, they vary state to state.
Right. I don't know, but actually thinking about that, I do want to...
If you're living in California, just walk around with absolutely no way to possibly defend yourself, and that's what the government wants. So just feel very vulnerable.
Here we go.
Here we go.
Or you're a crook.
My name's Ed. I'm on this little thing. It's called a soapbox.
As the 5 black SUVs pull up in front of his house.
So that question was from. It doesn't say. He didn't say where, but we can at least thank Vince for the question. So let's see. Let me.
I'm thinking about Mark being kidnapped. What's that dude that wears that little thong that starts bouncing up and down? Is that Party Boy on Jackass? Is that what they call him, Party Boy?
I don't watch that show.
We don't
bouncing up.
watch guys in thongs, Jim, so this one's just on you.
All right, moving along. Police job. Everybody gets to answer this, so just let me get through the question before you say what I think you're going to say. So somebody writing in about wanting a police job. Here's the question. So I smoked pot for 10 months. I took unperscribed lortab less than 5 times. Well, that's nice. Did Xanax once. Good. I'm 16 years old, and he's been sober for almost 4 months now. He'd like to be able to. He'd like to become a cop at age 19. What are your guys' opinions?
I think he could be a captain at some departments.
Oh.
Yeah, you got that right.
He's got a great future ahead of him.
Yeah, so there's certain PDs that he could be chief of police. He'd be looked well after.
Oh, man.
I would say, what's he, 16?
16.
16, and he wants to be the police.
But he's been sober for 4 months, Ed. So I don't know what you're talking about. Don't be negative now.
No, I'm not. No, I'm gonna give him a point blank because at 16 I smoked marijuana a few times myself.
But he's done.
Purposes.
He's
Right.
been smoking. He's been smoking pot for 10 months straight.
But he's got
Okay, well,
glaucoma.
Yeah.
Then what exactly is the Xanax and unprescribed lortab for?
It's because the dope wasn't working.
Anyway, if he's serious about getting involved in law enforcement, he needs to cut it off ASAP and ask himself why he was doing that, why he was smoking pot, and for 10 months, and why he's taking lortab. Is he trying to bug out, or what's the deal here? And then if he's really serious about law enforcement, he needs to start doing things in that direction. And that's obviously doesn't include smoking weed and popping pills and all that kind of stuff.
Right. Well, lortab is a painkiller, correct? I think it is.
I can't remember.
I think lortab's a painkiller, so obviously got something going on there. But I'm sure it's his back. So I guess my answer would be no.
Well, yeah, no, he can.
Actions speak louder than words, and what's happened in the past, that's in the past. But from 16, I don't think he could get a job as a cop at 19. I think you got to be 21 in most states. But what happens from 16, 17, 18, all the way up to 21? If he turns things around where he starts taking classes, doesn't get in any trouble, becomes a CSO, starts putting some school units towards it, then it'd be a different thing. But
Right.
if it's just something out of the blue that he's thinking about, he might be better off joining the service and go doing a couple tours and then seeing what he wants to do when he's 21.
Yeah, the dude's got to clean up his act.
Yeah, well, 16, he's still young. He could say that he was experimenting because, that's basically what he's doing. So, but if he's honest about wanting to get involved in law enforcement, you need to cut it off ASAP and start cleaning your act up.
Hey, if he's honest about getting it
for 48 years.
If he wants a good job anywhere, he better get his crap together.
Yeah.
I don't care, police or not. I wouldn't hire him as a normal employee.
Yeah, well, every job
I don't think he'd get a job working security for $10 an hour with that kind of record.
Well, with nowadays, even in
Have
construction,
you seen some of the security guards that are currently out there?
That's kind of the point I was making, Mark.
Didn't you used to work security, Mark?
No. Negatory.
Sure. Oh.
Yeah.
Anyhow, as I was going to say, was that all the construction jobs I've worked on in the last 10 years since I've retired, I've had to take urine tests and all that kind of stuff.
You can't even say it.
I know.
Where did you take them?
He was taking the urinalysis test.
Peeing in a cup
Where did he take them?
At a clinic.
I took the urine test. Where did you take it?
Jim, he's still got it.
So for this 16-year-old, the fact of the matter is that workman's comp insurance, I think, requires most employers now to do some kind of a drug test on them because you can't have people floating around the job drunk or high or whatever.
Yeah, the last one Ed took, they congratulated him and told me he was pregnant.
Congratulations!
Well, I had a guy on a job tell me one time, believe it or not, to beat the urine test, that you go to these head shops and apparently you can buy a sack of urine, put it in your pants or put it down your shorts, and have a little tube coming up your hoodinger. So when you go inside there, if they're watching you, you turn on a little valve under your Johnny come lately dealy, and away comes this clean urine. You squeeze your legs together, and it forces the urine out of the bag into the cup, so it's clean urine.
Hey,
This
what
guy's
if you're on your way to take the test and you get chased by the cops and you start running and the bag leaks?
Or your hoodinger falls off. I didn't know there was such a thing as a hoodinger.
Well,
you should never lose your hoodinger.
Yeah. So anyway, people go to some extremes to get out of turning up dirty in these drug tests. You know, and this guy, and not to mention what really pissed me off about this guy is he ratted me out for having a little cocktail on New Year's Eve with 2 other people on the job. It's like, okay, wait a minute. Here you are taking urine sacs in between your legs, and you're bragging me for having a little, Merry Christmas shot on the job. But anyway, that was many years ago.
All right. Well, thanks to Josh for sending in that question and making us all depressed that everybody's doing drugs.
Josh.
Yeah, good luck with that. So, hopefully you'll clean your crap up. All right, next one. Sealed record. Love the podcast. Oh, man, there's like 3 people that love it now. My question is this. If you have a sealed record, would that prevent you from applying and becoming a cop? Something happened when I was 17, and it went into a youthful offender sealed record. This person is now 34, worked for the federal government, dream is to become a cop. Any help would be greatly appreciated. Was never arrested, but while in court pled guilty, and the judge placed it in the sealed record. Also,
when they were 17.
Yes. Also, would that show up if you applied for a position as a police officer? It's just a stupid thing I did as a kid, and I've been a model citizen ever since.
I think you could have a sealed record for murder and probably still get a job with the government at 34 and become a cop.
Yeah.
I mean, I was being facetious, but no, me? But no, I mean, if this person's 34 now, as far as I know, most juvenile records are sealed and they don't come up. Especially if you were 21 or 22, there might be a possibility. But being 34 and having worked for the government or got clearance for a government job, I don't think this person has anything to worry about.
Yeah, I think in the case of if he committed a crime and they're looking for priors, they'd open up the record. But I think if he's got a sealed record like I do, I had some, less than stellar things I did as a teenager.
You?
That no, not me. But that
you just said you.
Yeah, I know. I'm just trying.
And I said you.
Yeah.
And he said no, not me.
Statute of limitations isn't up yet.
Well, we know he took urine samples. I mean, he admitted that.
He's a urinalysis stealer.
Anyway, the short story long is that I have it sealed, and I think if it wasn't sealed, I probably would have never been able to get in law enforcement. But other than that,
oh, wow, that's a admission of guilt right there.
No, it's a truth, and I tell the truth, nothing but the truth. So help you God.
You know, they say this about getting hired. They would rather than someone 21 years old living with mom and dad who's had a spotless friggin' record in life that really
Jim,
doesn't
you lived
have
with
a
mom and dad
realistic
until you were 28.
27.
Get it right, Mark.
Dude, you suck for that. On this show, you got to say something like that? Seriously? Really? Anyway, getting back to what I was saying.
What we call that is
I think an oral board is going to look at more someone that's been through life, that's had a few ups and downs, that has been on their own versus, I mean, there's nothing wrong with a 21-year-old that applies and gets hired, but they're definitely going to favor, I think, someone that's got a little more life experience, and sometimes life experience involves making mistakes and paying for them.
I mean, he's working for the federal government now, and it didn't come out during a background check. I mean, if he's absolutely fearful that it's going to come out, I would say even honesty would be the best question or the best answer. He's 34. He's already got at least 15 years behind him, and he's been a model citizen. I think any department would say, no, we're going to give you a chance.
I wouldn't even bring it up.
No, I wouldn't either. Don't even, because you don't open the door that they haven't opened.
If it comes up, then honesty is the best policy. Don't try to lie about it or lie about.
I can tell you from looking through applications and stuff. That is not a place to bring stuff up. Don't admit you're guilty to something unless you're really guilty. Don't let no. I
don't think you're required to say anything that's inside that sealed record anyway. They can't even ask about it. What happened when you were juvenile? Oh, I have a sealed record. Okay, that's the end of the conversation. If it's something that terrible, they'll find out anyway.
Yeah, it's called sealed for a reason.
Right.
So no, I think if your dream is to become a cop,
in Mark's case, it was I didn't know she was 16.
Oh.
With Jim, it's I knew she was 16, but I thought I would get away with it.
Well, didn't you have that Scooby-Doo van, Mark?
Scooby-Doo.
Yes, he did. Yes, with a license plate. If this van's rocking, don't bother knocking.
It was called the layaway. Get it right.
Yeah.
The layaway. Oh Lord, you're killing me.
I still remember the look on your father-in-law's face.
He had probably 20 AR-15s pointed at that van.
Yeah,
at one time.
the orange fur
Mark
bed in the
pulls
back.
up with long hair and a friggin' beard in a van that says layaway. Yeah, that
the
was
orange
good.
fur bed didn't go over too well either. But you know what? He's my father-in-law 30 years later, and he likes me, so it's a good thing.
Yeah, one person out of 785,000.
Hey, I've got 3 fans on this show, Jim. You got 0.
Oh, now.
Anyway, back to our youthful offender with a sealed record. I think if it's to follow your dream to become a cop, go for it. 34-year-old model citizen, go for it.
You have nothing to lose. You still got a job.
Right, and I wouldn't worry about it.
Yeah.
So.
He's already got a job now.
Yeah, but he wants to. He won't regret going into law enforcement until he jumps over a few fences, lands on top of them, and the jewels get smashed and is bleeding all over the place, and yada yada yada. And sitting behind an abandoned gas station.
Might be chasing a guy that had a bag of piss tucked between his legs that squirt all over you. I mean, there's unseen hazards there.
And when he turns around and goes, "I'm Ed."
When I left the jail, not knowing how easy I had it, went out to the street, was doing 15, 20-page reports with a pen in my hand. I realized, what the hell did I do?
Ed, you kissed off more paper than you've ever wrote.
I learned from the best, Mark. Thank you very much.
Oh. That was well done. Got out of that one nicely. All right, so thanks, Chris, for that question. Hopefully that answered your question. If it didn't, you can send all your complaining emails to Mark. So, all right, so this one everybody thinks, let me read it and then you guys can go from there. So, Mariah, I think, let's see. So, I think I'm being stalked. It's probably Jim. This guy is from a different country. Oh, it's not Jim.
It's Puvin.
He's, huh? So you are from, never mind. So the guy is from a different country. He's 20 years old. We are currently friends right now, but he calls me sweetie and gives me a lot of compliments. Well, hey, I am 14.
Where's the siren? Where's the sirens at? Immediately, 14.
Let me say that one more time. I am 14. He is 20. Okay. He started off by calling me and leaving me voicemail messages. Then I texted him because I got freaked out. Oh, well, that makes sense. Okay, so he apologized and told me that he would back off and he didn't mean to sound stalkerish. That's a cool new word. I love talking to people around the world because I find it interesting. I guess my questions are, how can you tell if someone is a predator? Do you guys think this guy is a predator? And what action should I take if he is? He just makes me feel important, and we share a lot in common. Ugh,
she answered her own question.
Yeah, he is 20 and 14.
Right.
That's a problem.
He's making her feel special or making her feel important. He's a predator. That's part of their game, is to make you feel something you're not. And then that's a whole part of it right there. So the red light is on. Stay as far away from anybody that age who's making you feel important. That's his whole game.
Now, that being said, different countries, different rules. So sometimes, where he's from, we are not aware. So he might be doing this and it's totally normal.
Denmark.
From where he's from to be doing this, and it's not a big deal. The issue is that you do not want to, you don't want to be the end of the bad situation if it is potentially a predator or some kind of stalker. But
Yeah, Brent,
first off, he's
I'm gonna
20.
Have to agree with it. I'm gonna have to agree with you, sweetie.
Thank you, honey.
He calls you sweetie and gives you a lot of compliments. A 20-year-old doesn't talk to a 14-year-old unless they're out for something, and he's not really stalkering you.
Stalkering you.
Sound like him in a cornfield. This guy is certainly after something other than.
They have another Percocet.
Yeah, exactly.
That's a lortab, my friend. Lortab.
You'll be surprised.
Take it from Ed. Take good advice from Ed with his sealed record. Is that the kind of stuff that was in your sealed record there, Ed?
Anyway, I'm trying to stay serious.
Okay.
He's 20 years old, so stay away from this man. He's way too old for you.
The dude is
That's
bad
news written all over it.
Bad news.
Bottom line is, with Facebook and MySpace and all that, don't be giving out. I mean, I'm sure if she's talking, these kids, and they're putting their personal addresses, phone numbers, everything on there. Pretty soon, if this guy is a stalker, he's going to be showing up at your house one day, knocking on the door.
Dude,
don't
that's getting
be
into
giving out
another
personal
whole
information.
friggin' hour show we could do just on the internet. You know, how these kids they have no idea what kind of information they're giving away on Facebook and MySpace and all these other. I mean, they make it too easy, but these predators, as we call them, they know that, and that's why they're all over it.
Well, why don't we devote like maybe 20, 30 minutes next show to cover that, because that goes into what bosses are doing. They're going online, looking at people's Facebook accounts, getting past history on them and stuff. So why don't we just discuss this in depth maybe the next show?
That sounds.
We can answer this question here, but we'll go into the the social
cyber stalking and
all that stuff. Yeah.
Why did you say depth like that? You said we could go into depth, like you emphasized depth. You couldn't just say the word like, "Hey, we could take it in depth," but you had to say, "Let's take it in depth." What's up with that? I don't get it. I'm just saying.
That's like saying tooth or tooth. He got one tooth. So
you guys are breaking my balls.
Or more than one tooth.
He got toofies.
I got two tooths.
Okay.
That's not funny. I'm about to start
now,
working.
If you're Mark, if you got two teeth, it'd be two tooth.
I got deuce tooth, man.
Got two teeth.
I got the deuce.
Okay, so now that we all know how many teeth Mark has, so this last question just came in, and it's about no-knock warrants. So I didn't do any research on this, so this is all you guys. So what are some of the reasons a no-knock warrant can be issued, i.e., too many people come across a home's threshold in an hour, too much traffic in and out of a home, or how many calls the police have made to a certain address, about too much suspicious traffic going in and out of that home? And honestly, I have no idea, so it's all you guys.
You can't get warrants for any of those.
No. Well,
Just
yes, you
because
can.
traffic's going in and out of.
Yes, you can. You can write a search warrant for it, but you can't do a no knock on it. You got to articulate why you need to bust that door down without saying hi. We're here first, because it's got to be a danger situation. But I've done search warrants on houses where people are going in and out. The person will go in, spend less than 2 or 3 minutes, come back out. 2 minutes later, another person comes in and out. That's narcotics activity, and you can justify that to a judge. You'd like to have a little more, but you can get search warrants on that, but certainly not a no knock.
Well, Ed, why don't you explain what a no knock is for people who don't know?
Well, generally in California, I'm speaking only about California, you have to knock and announce your presence and what your intention is to do. Knock, knock, knock. Police department, search warrant, demanding entry, open the door. We used to have to say that. You're supposed to do it up to 30 seconds. I haven't seen anybody do it to 30 seconds because basically in a 30-second time frame, they're loading their guns up and everything else behind the door.
Well, if everybody watches Cops, it's police department open the door, and by the time they yell that out, the door's busted open and they're halfway.
Yeah, for all intents and purposes, that's how it really goes. Police department, search warrant, demanding entry, and I used to run the key, so I'd slam the door, drop the key, get out of the way, and the stack would go in. But no knock warrants.
Ed would have to go back out because the bag of urine between his legs dropped out, and he had to go back and get it again.
I was just going to say it's his house, and he already had the keys.
We used to whisper it so that we wouldn't disturb anyone not related to the actual.
Oh, that's nice. So you sort of just knock quiet.
Yeah.
Police department.
Sheriff's office search warrant.
Yeah. So anyway, no knock warrants. Essentially, you don't do your knock and notice. You just bam, you hit the door and in you go. That's got to be an extreme circumstance, or it used to be an extreme. Maybe nowadays, if you think you got a terrorist suspect inside the house, they got bombs and C4 laying on the table, sure.
Jeez, whose attack dog is barking in the background?
That's
is that yours, Ed?
Spartacus.
That's yeah. But anyway, so you don't have time to knock and notice while they explode the C4 on you. Yeah, you got to bust right through the door and get in there and do what you got to do.
Yeah,
I agree with you, Ed, on the high activity out of a house, but usually, we take things into consideration like numerous complaints by other neighbors, stuff that we've observed. We'll try and stop cars when they're leaving, try and get someone to roll over and do a controlled buy, so that we know for sure.
Right, yeah. But the traffic into a house, and like you say, we used to do traffic stops and try and search them and find some dope on them and get them to say they bought it inside the house. That's definitely get stacks up on your affidavit real well.
Well, you need a pile of stuff to issue a search warrant anyway. So
no, not necessarily. You'd be surprised.
Well, unless you're Ed.
Well, in Delta Municipal Court, anyhow.
It's always risky too when cops are yelling. Someone inside the house hears yelling and screaming, and their door busts open. And if you got Joe Blow, lawful citizen with a gun in his hand, he's going to get capped by the police, or there's been police officers shot because, there are mistakes. Sometimes cops hit the wrong house. Sometimes you get bogus information. I think I sent you guys a link where a informant gave some bogus information, and they raided this house, and the guy shot as somebody was crawling in the bottom of the door, and it happened to be a cop during a search warrant. So it doesn't happen a lot, but it is kind of risky when you're doing warrants.
Is that the thing about the murder charges for a man who defended his home? That one?
Yeah.
Bummer.
They turned out to be the wrong house in the first place. Or no, it turned out to be the CI may have been the actual crook in the first place.
Oh.
Right.
Hi. Whoops. That's
the informant was, I guess the heat was on him about a burglary or something, so he gave some false information to the officer to try to get the heat off of him, and they ended up getting a search warrant based on that information, and they hit the house, and this guy that had no criminal record or anything heard his door being broken down. He fired a shot. It killed the cop, and they ended up charging him with killing a police officer. So a tragic situation all the way around.
Wow.
So was that Harley. Ed shot a Harley when he did a search warrant.
Well, you know what? That's a prime example. We were going after a serial killer in the town that I used to work in, and the confidential informant told the homicide investigators that this guy's been talking about he killed that 16-year-old girl and he dumped her body and blah 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 blah, and the guy was a tweaker. So anyway, we all get up, and I think you guys are familiar with this case. It was back in the mid-'90s when prostitutes were all getting dumped alongside the highway. So we go to this house, we do our stack, bang, kick the door in, etc. Go in there. So we clear the occupied portion of the house. Now we go downstairs into the garage area and kick the first door. We go running down this probably 2.5 foot wide hallway. It leads to another door. And of course, moi here kicked the door, and when I started falling backwards, I inadvertently popped a round off through the door and shot a motorcycle gas tank. And lucky it didn't have gas in it, and nothing exploded.
That's why they put you in the front of the line from then on, right?
Well, the funniest part
nobody wanted you behind them.
The funniest part about that whole thing was, I had a guy behind me who was from another agency, and the guy behind him was from my agency, but the third guy in the stack was like 5'2", short guy, but a fiery little guy. He was on the SWAT team and all that. So I fired the round off. The guy behind me from the other agency starts running. He turns around and starts to hightail it down the hallway, and the third guy in the stack is like pushing him out of the way, trying to get his gun over my shoulder to get a few rounds off. And I'm thinking, hey, it's an AD. And I got a gun next to my ear now because the guy wants to start capping rounds through the door himself. I'm like, holy crap,
So he just wrote you off and decided to use you as a big shield.
Basically, yeah.
That's right.
Like a good guy, though. He's the kind of guy you want to have with you because he was ready to go. And the guy behind me was a chicken. He put his tail between his legs and ran. But needless to say, you don't kick a door in with your gun in your hand, and that's why they call you a key. You go up there with a big battering ram, knock the door open, and then stand out of the way.
So instead of an AD, it's a DA, dumbass?
Yeah, pretty much. Yeah.
Okay.
It could have been worse. Like one of the guys in the old department, he blew a hole in the bathroom floor, I think, when he's taking a potty. Now, ask me how you pull that one off.
I had a friend who blew a hole through his hand.
Did he? Jeez.
Yep. That was also an AD.
Oh, anyway, the short story long and long story short again is that the house turned out to be, it wasn't even the suspect. All the information that the confidential informant was giving the homicide investigators was bogus. And
You broke down my door and you shot my Harley?
Oh, we ripped the place to shreds, and it turned out the guy had nothing to do with anything.
Yeah, it's called writing a good search warrant.
Yeah. So anyway, that was one of those search warrant deals where the search warrant was written with the best of intents, but it was the wrong house. Not the wrong house, but just had nothing to do with the crime whatsoever.
So dude just picked a house.
Well, he picked the guy that he didn't like.
Oh.
And basically, made him look like he was the killer. So we had nothing to go on, and that's what they went on and wrote a search warrant for his house, hoping to find evidence. And here's Dodo Bird down there blowing holes in motorcycle gas tanks. Now, Mark, are you going to start talking about the dog incident where I shot at the dogs and missed?
Oh.
2 dogs.
I think you already told that story once.
Did I tell that? Yeah, I hit the house. Well, at least I shot my gun in the line of duty, Mark. How about you?
At least you hit something.
Yeah, people have said, you ever been involved in an on-duty shooting? Yeah, I have. I shot a Harley and I missed 2 dogs.
Oh, God, that was funny.
I've been shot at. Does that count?
Kudos to Jim, I guess, the other night. There was some fool out on the water firing an assault weapon or some kind of gun into the water, and citizens were concerned. They called the police, and
so that's fishing, right?
The police get down there to the dock, and they're trying to get the guy to dock his boat to check him out, and he's flipping him off, I guess, and comes into this little
Did Jim ram him?
area. Yeah, so Jim, they called for the sheriff patrol, and in comes the 25-foot patrol boat with guns. And it would look cool if you guys had that machine gun mounted up on the front of it. That would have been awesome.
Like the Coast Guard.
Yeah.
That would have been cool, but it would have been cooler if I was there, because that was all Tommy and Gary, my 2 partners. I got into the tail end of that after it was done.
Oh.
After it was done, how'd you do that? Aren't you all on the same boat? Were you on like a water ski?
I was on a water ski, Mark, and the line broke, and they didn't look back and notice, and they just kept going. So I floated out there by Broad Slough. God, it was a harrowing situation. I thought I was going to get the sturgeon started nibbling at me. It was the most traumatic thing.
Guys, come back for me, guys.
You told me the whole story.
Actually,
I thought you were involved in it.
It's actually funny because we used to do that to Mark when we went water skiing as kids. He'd fall, and the observer would be looking at girls on the beach, and he wouldn't tell me that we had to ski her down. So we'd turn around to see how Mark was doing, and there'd be this little teeny dot on the water like 8 miles back.
That teeny dot wasn't even me. That was driftwood. You guys were nowhere around for like 15 minutes. Boats are whizzing down, almost running over me and crap, and they're gone.
Hey, Jim, is it true you landed the department helicopter on a bridge one time and did a James Bond stop in the name of the law?
Negative.
Oh, God.
Okay.
You won't admit to it.
Flew next to the bridge.
Oh, well, then jumped off onto the bridge and stood there.
I can't.
Dirty Harry fashion.
Have no recollection of.
Hey Ed, when he retires like you, he could then he could talk.
Oh, I thought that was like you got accommodation or something for that.
No.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, we call it the. Never mind.
No,
Okay.
we're gonna have some really interesting shows once Jim retires, and we could talk.
When's the statute of limitations?
7 years.
7 years.
Yep.
7 years in a day.
All right. Well, we are officially out of questions.
Hey, they were some pretty good ones tonight.
Do
Thank
we
you
want
for the,
to anything we
sending
want to
them.
recap on these things?
Just crime still out there. The fraud is a huge thing. Once again, if somebody calls, I mean, all these emails are going around. Your bank account's been compromised, limited activity until you call us with this and that. I mean, even telephone calls. I guess there was a guy semi-locally with the AT&T ID badge hanging around his neck that he was showing people, trying to give these people certain deals. And he said, hey, I need your social security number, your name, and your birthday, and this and that. And people started getting a little hinked up about it. So they called AT&T, and they said, no, he doesn't work for us. So there's all kinds of scams out there. Just remember, don't give out any of your personal information unless you're 100% absolutely sure of that you initiated this contact and who you're talking to. Get callback numbers, call in and verify employment, because identity theft is rampant. Just call after call after call, day after day of identity theft.
Yeah, trust no one.
Yep.
And if you're being kidnapped at gunpoint, do what Mark would do: raise your T-shirt, start jumping up and down, leg hump the guy, and throw him off by surprise, and the guy will run off screaming instead of you having to do it.
Yeah, people could try that, Jim.
I'm just saying. I'm just saying.
We recommend you don't try that.
I dig you, Mark. Happy birthday, bro.
Geez, appreciate that, Jim.
Well,
Hey, you getting pretty close to pulling the plug, huh?
No.
Who, Mark?
Yeah.
No, the plug is wedged in there
closer
for a
than I am.
while.
I'm in the 3% at 70 plan.
Jim's going to be patrolling parking lots on a lark.
You know what hurts? That wasn't a joke.
Oh, well. To our 3 listeners, we do appreciate it.
Very much so. And 2 of them are in Australia. That's awesome.
Yep, and they're getting a book.
Well, write in any of these people if they want books, the ones that gave us these questions. Let Brent know. We'll mail you out a book.
Absolutely.
And send in your questions. If we use your question, we'll give you a book. And shout outs. Let us know where you're at. We can give you a shout out. We'd like to know where some of our listeners are at.
Yeah, give your home address. Mark's a stalker.
Yeah, and if you're a crook and you're in that neighborhood, just let us know and we'll call the cops for you. So I guess until not next week, but the week after, because we're on our new bi-weekly, something like that.
We're in the gym schedule.
Bi-monthly? What is it?
We're on the gym schedule.
Oh, gym. Okay.
Whenever he feels like it.
Yeah. So.
Ouch.
Yeah, we all apologize that Jim can't actually use Google Calendar, but it's cool. So.
What's Google Calendar?
And on that note, we will see everybody the next time Jim wants to do a show.
All right, people, stay safe.
See ya.